Excuse me. All right, sports fans. How's it going? Welcome to Gonzo'S Sports Room. Uh, Monday, July or June 27th, 2022. I'm trying to skip a month.
Yep.
No, got quite a bit to talk about. A lot of stuff coming out in the NBA tonight. Kyrie Irving has opted in with the Nets. Took his 36.5 million player option. So he's going to stay with the Nets. The Nets aren't going to have to worry about losing KD. It was a big rumor that if Kyrie walked, so was KD. KD would want to demand a trade, even though he just signed like a 3 or 4 year extension.
So KD still believes in him, huh?
Yep. Yeah, KD came out and said that he didn't feel like the Nets organization took the time to try to get to know Kyrie and understand him. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's so different than what it used to be.
The dude's a talented guy. I mean, he's a talented ball player, but I think he's a head case. I don't know.
Yeah, he's real. On the court, dude can ball.
But if they got on the same page, that they could be a dangerous team. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean,
especially if Ben Simmons comes back.
You know, like I was watching the show you was on earlier today. Like, with Simmons coming back.
Yeah, on the court.
One of the shows you was on today, the guy said that the Nets about put out Milwaukee with just
KD. The year before. Yep.
Yeah.
Durant's big toe was on the 3-point line. If that would have been a 3, that they would have won and they would have moved on, and not the Bucks.
So I mean, they're still a dangerous team. We just have to wait and see if they can put things together.
Especially if Ben Simmons comes back, that's going to make them better too, because he's a good defender. Plus, Ben Simmons is a good facilitator, good rebounder. He'll really help that team, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was the best thing for the Nets to do, really. But I agree with the Nets. I wouldn't have gave Kyrie a 2, 3, 4 year max deal. Dude hasn't played over 65 games in the last 7 seasons.
Yeah.
No, dude, you play this year and prove it to me that you're going to play and you're here and you're bought in, and then I'll give you that big max extension. But there wasn't no way I'd give it to him right now.
No, and
if he would have walked and you lose Durant, you'd have to trade Durant. You have to trade Durant. But
yeah,
there's no way I'd have gave him a 3 or 4 year max deal.
And that's the problem, with him and Simmons. I mean, they seem like they didn't want to play last year. So, and I mean, I know some injuries, but they also, there's a lot of people question Simmons' heart. So I don't know.
Yeah.
If he really.
The thing is, a back injury, man, it's hard. It's hard to diagnose because a back injury can affect everybody differently. You know what I mean? It's hard to be able to know how bad somebody's back is really hurt. I mean,
but his heart was kind of questioned in Philadelphia too, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think he got a bad rapo in Philadelphia. It was like anytime anything went wrong, they blamed him on it.
Yep.
Or blamed him for it. Yes, he didn't shoot the 3, but instead of harping about him not shooting the 3, talk about the things that he does well.
Yeah.
And if he don't shoot the 3, so build your team around him where he's not going to shoot the 3. Have other shooters on the court, because he's a good facilitator.
Yep.
And he's good at getting at the rim and finishing around the rim. You don't have, but nowadays they want everybody to be able to shoot the 3. And he won't hardly take a 3 in the game.
He's pretty good defensively.
Yeah.
Pretty good rebounder. I mean,
but because he don't want to shoot the 3, which is the popular thing to do right now, he kind of gets buried for it.
Yeah.
Before we move on, don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're giving out winners. Come join us. You can find it on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Also, it's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter at ASAP Sports Network. So check that out, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can find it in podcast form on most major podcast platforms. at Easy Money. You can also find this show, G.S.R. Gonzo Sports Room podcast form as well, at Gonzo Sports Room, Spotify, Anchor Podcast, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. And of course, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. Please hit that subscribe button. We did hit over 300 subscribers now on YouTube, so numbers are steadily going up. So we want to thank you guys for the support, because without you guys, numbers won't go up. But so Irving opted in, and just a little bit ago, it comes out that John Wall is accepting a buyout from Houston and is going to sign with the Clippers. So now the Clippers are going to pair him up with Paul George. They made the playoffs last year with just mainly George. Kawhi Leonard hasn't played. I'm assuming he's going to be back this year. So I mean, with Wall, Leonard, and George, the Clippers are going to be a pretty tough team. Wall's he's not a shooter, but he's a decent facilitator, and he can get to the rim and finish. But then if you have Kawhi who can score, and you got Paul George who can score, you add a few other little pieces. They're going to be a tough team, and the West is going to be good. The West is going to be tough next year in the NBA.
Very tough.
Because I think the Warriors are going to be better than they were this year, because Klay Thompson will be back. Be the second year off that injury. Usually it takes you, most people say it takes about 2 years to fully recover. It's usually the second year after people have them leg surgeries when you see them get back to closer to the potential they were at. So I think he'll be better. Wiseman will be back. That's going to help them, and they'll pretty much have the same team.
Yeah.
And then the Grizzlies are going to be even better with Morant. The Pelicans, I think, are going to be good now if Zion's healthy, because hell, they took the Suns to 6 games without Zion.
Okay, what about the Suns? We think if they get healthy.
A lot of it depends on what they do. What happens with Ayton? If they sign that extension with Ayton, I think they're still going to be contenders. I think they still have maybe a year or two to try to be contenders with that team they have before Chris Paul's done. But if they let Ayton go, then I don't know. I don't know. Depends on who they replace him with, and because they're going to have Booker. Booker can score.
Yeah.
Chris Paul. I mean, every team he's played on, he's made better. I mean, people want to hate on him, but he's a hell of a point guard.
No.
I don't know what happened this year. Yeah, the last 3 or 4 games, or there in the playoffs, he just didn't play well.
Yeah.
Right after his birthday, he didn't play well. It was a crazy collapse by the Suns, but the Suns are going to be up there. I think Denver Nuggets are going to be up there, because they should have Jamal Murray back, and look what they did with just Jokic. So
Dallas was a pretty good.
Dallas is going to be better, because they're going to try to add some pieces around Luka. Hey, baby, how you doing? Love you too. I'll be done in here in just a few. Sorry, she's got home from work. I was wondering where she was at. She had to stay over a little bit. But no, NBA, the West is going to be better, because like you got Denver's going to be better. I think Houston will be better. Spurs could be better. I think Dallas is going to be better, because they're going to try to improve a little bit. You know what I mean? They're going to change a couple pieces and try to help Luka.
Didn't I hear that? Did I hear this right the other day, that Kemba Walker is going to be available? I think he's.
I think so, because the Knicks basically didn't play him last season. They set him out.
Well, I think they signed some kind of deal where he can get his release.
Okay.
So
yeah, he might be available. I'd say he probably is, because him and the Knicks wasn't getting along at all.
Does he have anything left?
I don't know. He's not consistent. He wasn't, especially this with the Knicks. He wasn't consistent. Some nights he looked tough, and other nights he just wasn't there. And hell, they set him out, and then because of injuries, they brought him back in. He played pretty good. And then as soon as everybody got healthy, they start setting them out again. So I don't know. Something I think happened behind the scenes too. But I mean, look, he left the Celtics, and look what happened to the Celtics. They got smart and they went to the
Yeah,
finals. So I mean,
true.
it's,
That's
and
true.
that same thing goes back with Kyrie Irving. The last few teams he's been on, they've looked better when he hasn't been there.
That's true.
When he was in Boston, I'm not saying Boston was a better team without him because that'd be a foolish statement because Kyrie Irving's a hell of a ball player. But for some reason, as a team, they played better when he
Yeah.
wasn't there.
Well, it comes down to chemistry. I mean, if the chemistry's not there,
And hey, I don't know him, but just from what you hear, he seems like a difficult guy to get. Could be a difficult guy to get along with.
yeah.
From some of the reports you hear.
And do you think money? You start making that big money, and I mean, it happens with boxers. They don't work as hard. And mentality wise can make a big difference in any sport, anything you do. So
Mm-hmm.
look at and I know he had some injuries, but look at Oladipo, how good he was with the Pacers, and I know he played pretty well with Miami this year, especially in the playoffs and stuff. But since he left Indiana, he has struggled, not been the same guy.
Yeah, I think some of it's situation, but with him, I think he's just now finally getting back over that leg injury. He had that gruesome leg injury, and if you
He
saw
did.
him, especially this year in the playoffs, he played pretty good in the playoffs for the Heat. So and you started seeing him getting closer to the old Oladipo. I look for him to have a good year next year. I really do. I think he's starting to really get come back from that leg injury. And man, I'd like to see what would have happened if he had never got hurt because
Yeah,
he was starting to roll with the Pacers, and the Pacers were looking good.
Pacers were looking good.
And
Him and uh,
when
oh,
then he went
oh,
down, and Warren went down, and it was just
yeah. Now Warren's still on the roster, right?
uh, I'm I'm pretty sure he is, yes. But you have I like that Pacers rookie. Speaking of that, did you see what he said?
Yep, I seen it. A lot of people. He upset some people, but
Oh yeah, he upset some people saying he wanted some LeBron. He wants LeBron to prove that he's better than him.
yeah,
He goes, I don't think he's better than me. I like it
yeah, you want to be
because
confident.
what you want him to say? Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared to play against LeBron. You know what I mean? You want the guy to be confident. I thought it was great. I loved it. But yeah,
Yeah,
oh, he pissed some people off by saying that.
man. If Warren could come back and play like he did before he got hurt,
Yeah, and then with
the
Halliburton,
Pacers
they
wouldn't be far.
no, they still have Brogdon right now. And you have Halliburton, that rookie. I think he's going, and you got that rookie from last year. He played some good minutes too. I think he's going to turn into a decent player. That Dorte or however you pronounce his name.
I agree.
So I'm interested to see what the Pacers look like. I think they're trying. Well, I like I said, I like that draft pick. I think he's going to be a good fit for us. I really do.
I like the draft pick. And you seen where they traded the 58 pick and they got a guy that was
Yeah,
48.
yeah.
His name, but right
I
off my
can't
head.
remember. Then they signed this a foreign guy
Yep.
to a contract. Going to play on the summer league team.
Yeah, he was a G League guy.
Yeah, they say he's pretty good. I haven't seen him play, so I don't know for sure. But they say he's pretty good. I need to watch more of that G League. I like watching the summer ball. I watch some of it because it's on when it's on. It's usually just baseball. So if the Reds aren't
Yeah.
playing, I'll watch some of that summer ball just to see
You
some of the rookies play, especially Indiana. If the Pacers are playing, I like to see the Pacers summer team just to see some of the young players.
you watch any of that 3-on-3?
I do. I do sometimes that the big three ice cubes that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like and actually bringing that up, the guy from one of the guys from ASAP was at that covering it, and
Yeah.
he got to meet Ice Cube and shake up with them. Mike Hughes he's from Chicago, but he's on the ASAP Sports Network. Yeah, he covered that event. I like the setup. I'd like to go to one live if they came close enough. I'd go to one and watch it. You get to see some of the old NBA players still play. Yeah, it's half court 3-on-3, but it's still, I mean, it's still quality basketball.
Yeah, still
And them guys
competitive.
are, and them, yeah, and they talk shit to each other and just, and they do that big three. When I watched on TV, they do a good job of keeping the crowd engaged. There's all, you know, I mean, there's always something going on. Yeah, their production is well done. I like it. Of course, I didn't watch none this weekend because we were busy. We were busy all weekend. But
Yeah.
but no, I like watching it. I like watching college baseball too. I think that's something people don't watch enough of, especially if
Yep.
you're old. Especially if you're an old school baseball fan. Watch college baseball. They still bunt. They still steal bases. There's strategy to it. They're just not up there home run or bust every time. Don't get me wrong. There's still some home runs hit, but you also see some small ball played. It's more like I said, old school baseball. It's not like the new MLB where it's home run or strikeout.
Yeah. I've got the Sox and the Angels on, and the Angels was up 2-0 going into the sixth, and Syndergaard is pitching and was pretty much mowing down the White Sox, and then got into the sixth, and the White Sox are now pounding them. They've had three doubles in a row in the sixth, and tied it up 2-2, and now in the seventh inning they
Um,
have scored and went up ahead 3-2.
I took the Angels to win that game.
Yeah, Syndergaard looked real good till he got
Yeah.
to the sixth inning, and now he's falling apart. He also just committed an error. Ball hit to him, and he took his eye off of it. Ball hit right back to him slowly, and he took his eye off of it and missed it.
Well, see, that was one reason I took the Angels because Syndergaard was on the mound. I'm watching the highlights here, seeing just I'm watching Sports Center, seeing what happened to some of the games, checking to see if my picks are doing any good.
Yeah, it's on the MLB network.
I took the Angels to win that game, but that wasn't one of my best picks of the day. My picks
Yeah.
of the day was the Cardinals money line, which I know they won. I had the Rangers money line.
They won. It's 10-4. Rangers did.
I had the Dodgers money line and the Yankees minus 1.5. That was the picks. That was the best pick, or best, or what I call picks of the day. And then I also give a pick. The way I do that for people that are new to the show on Easy Money, the sports betting show, I give a pick out for every game, and then I give out my picks of the day as well. And last week I was 30-10 overall, and what was it? It was like 17-3 or something on the. Let me find it real quick.
Dodgers got shut out 4-0.
Dodgers lost. Damn.
4-0 to Colorado.
Best bets were 17-4. So last week I was 30-10 overall, and my picks of the day were 17-4. So I give a pick out for every day. But yeah, I took the Angels in that game, but so far the only one I've lost on my best bets is the Dodgers. I'm not sure what happened in the Yankees game yet. I took the Cardinals for one reason, because Wainwright was on the mound. I've made a rule for myself. I never pick against Adam Wainwright anymore. Because when I first started doing the Easy Money show last year, that dude, I'd always pick against him, and he just every time he'd beat the Cardinals would win. So I've switched it now. If he's pitching, I always take the Cardinals. Like, dude, that dude ain't beat me no more. He cost me like $400 one night on a parlay. The NBA is going to be interesting. NFL is going to be interesting. Deshaun Watson goes to a hearing tomorrow with the NFL, with the lady that's doing the whatever she is, the outside investigator.
A lot of people feel like he's going to get a year suspension.
Yeah,
at a minimum.
A lot of people think it's going to be indefinite suspension and no less than a year. To me, I think that's. I'm gonna make some people mad, but I think a year is too long.
I don't know enough about it.
I think 4 to 6 games. Because here's the reason why. 2 grand juries could, they didn't have enough evidence to get 2 grand juries to indict him. It hasn't been, you know what I mean? So it hasn't been proven guilty of anything. It did
But
something happen today. I'm sure something did. I don't know 100%, but that many
the
women to come forward, I think something happened.
only
But
thing I don't know about Chris and baseball and their contracts, do they have any kind of moral clause and stuff like that?
or in
I'm
football,
not
yeah,
saying
they
in
have a
football. Well, in
that's what
baseball
they
and
might
football, then
suspend them for would be the like code of conduct policy
yeah,
is what they're is
yeah,
why they might is why he's gonna get a suspension. But
yeah.
I think a year's too. I think it's like 6 games would have been perfect. But we'll see what
I,
happens. I
I
know
thought the
people that think he's going. I know people that want him to get 2 or 3 years.
I thought the minimum would be at least 8 games. I didn't think there was any way to go six. I figured the minimum would be eight, but it sounds like a year to me
Oh man,
right now. And I wonder if Cleveland protected herself in that case, where they could void the contract.
I think if I remember right, his agent got it in there where he still gets like 30 or 40 million. He gets his signing, but gets to keep his signing bonus. I think it is.
Even if you don't play,
I'm pretty sure that he got that in the contract that he gets a signing bonus no matter what.
are the Cleveland? I'm not trying to be mean, but are they idiots?
I guess, but I remember hearing that his agent got it in the contract where he gets money even if you don't play. I'm pretty sure he gets to keep his signing bonus. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But the Browns are in trouble because from what I hear, Baker's not their backup plan, and from what I hear, it's almost a done deal that Baker's going to Seattle.
Is he going to go Seattle?
Uh, I'll give him a shout out because that's who I heard it from is Dustin. Dustin Reese, we call him Stat Guy on the ASAP Sports Network. He's put a message in the one of the chat groups that excuse me that it was almost a done deal that Baker's going to Seattle and that people think it'll be a done deal by Friday. I guess
Huh.
he was listening to a Seattle Seahawk podcast, and I guess they were talking about it on there. And from why he's hearing, he says by Friday it could be a done deal. That I guess Geno Smith is getting some first team reps over Drew Lock. So I think so. I guess now Seattle's really pursuing Baker Mayfield is what the reports are. So
Yeah,
if Watson gets suspended, Baker gone. That means Jacoby Brissett's Cleveland starter. I know you'll be happy because you would like to see Brissett get another chance because he was
I'd like to
playing
see him
well.
start.
He was playing well for the Colts before he got hurt, and then after he got hurt, he didn't play well. And then they traded and got Phillip Rivers, and then of course Carson Wentz. Everybody knows that. Which I am going to talk about. We are going to talk about Carson Wentz here in a few because I heard somebody on TV today say something ridiculous about Carson Wentz, and it made me write something down because it had me a little fired up there.
I've heard a lot of people say some ridiculous things about Wentz, and he got more blame than I think he deserved. But
This dude said that Carson Wentz was a disaster with the Colts. A
I've heard,
disaster.
yeah, I've heard people say that.
He threw 27 touchdowns to like 6 interceptions, people.
Chris,
Yes,
I've heard,
the Colts collapsed. Colts definitely collapsed the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. Was it all on Carson Wentz? No.
yeah,
He
I agree.
didn't play well. Offensive line didn't play well. Our defense didn't play well. It was the whole team didn't play well as a team. But for some reason, he took all the blame.
Yeah,
And now we're bringing in Matt Ryan, who, hey, honestly, I think he still has a couple of years of good football in him. I really do. I think Matt Ryan will be a good fit. But I didn't understand what Wentz done that was so bad that we didn't keep him and give him at least another year because I thought the way he played, he deserved at least to get another year. It
thought
was weird to me. I think there was something going on behind the scenes with him. I don't know if he's kind of hard to get along with or something because that's kind of
something happened.
because I would have thought he was going to be with the Colts for 2-3 years. I really did.
I honestly think it was the owner. The owner got mad at him, and he didn't want him there. That's what I really think. I think the owner didn't want him there. I don't know if he was ever sold on him to begin with, and I think that's what happened. But it wasn't all his fault. And I've seen commentators on TV say that he uh, is a below average quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not even average, and I disagree with that.
Hey, and some people consider this a hot take, but I think the Washington Commanders are going to be pretty good this year. They have a good defense, and they got some weapons with McLaurin. I think Wentz is going to have a good year there in Washington. I really do.
Who's the
People
coach
better
there?
watch out for Washington. People better watch out for Washington in the NFC East.
Who's the coach here now?
Ron Rivera.
They got a good coach. So
Yeah, they
yeah, I
got
don't.
a good coach.
That's what I thought. Very well.
I think Wentz is going to have a good year there in Washington. I really do.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And I'm hoping Matt Ryan can stay healthy. I think he still has a couple years left. I still think the Colts are going to end up signing Julio Jones. I really do. I mean, he still hasn't went nowhere. I think they're going to get him on a pretty good deal, a team friendly deal. And I mean, him and Matt Ryan have that connection. If Julio can stay healthy, he could be a hell of a weapon. And we need somebody because we don't even have Hilton on the roster. So right now, Pittman's our number one receiver.
They're real happy with. They say some of the young guys are. But
well, man, that Pierce that they drafted from Cincinnati, he's tough. I think he's gonna make an impact.
Pierce, but there's another guy they've been talking about too. I can't remember his name. That I've heard a bunch of good stuff about. I think he might have got drafted last year.
I can't remember his name, but the coach has been really. Frank Reich has really been building up that wide receiver group. He's been saying a lot of good things about that young wide receiver group. And hey, hopefully he's right because I'd like to see the Colts. We have a good defense. The Colts could make a deep run in the playoffs if we can stay healthy. Offensive line's usually pretty good, especially when Quentin Nelson's healthy. We got one of the best running backs in the league, if not the best right now. I'll put him right up there as the best with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you knew how I felt about Taylor.
And if Frank Reich will quit fucking giving the ball to Taylor 3 or 4 times in a row, and he'll gain 10 to 12 yards every carry, and he'll take him out of the damn game, and you might not see him the rest of the damn quarter.
I was a huge fan of Taylor at Wisconsin when he was a sophomore.
Yeah.
I was talking about him then.
Yeah.
And I thought, he was the best running back his junior year. I thought he was the best running back his senior year. I thought he was the best running back in college football.
We were both ecstatic when the Colts got Taylor.
When they got Taylor and when they got the receiver they got, because I seen him play quite a bit. I was real thrilled with him. So I didn't know much about this Cincinnati guy, but I know a lot of people are high on him.
He's good. I think the Colts are going to be good this year. Frank Reich, man, I want to like him, but then he does some stuff. It's like, dude, what are you thinking? Sometimes his play calling just don't make sense. He'll be aggressive when you shouldn't be, and he'd be passive when he should be aggressive. Sometimes, if that makes sense. And it's like, I don't know. If you're handing the ball off to Taylor and he's getting 8 yards of carry, keep giving him the damn ball. But no, he'll take him out, put Hines in, and nothing against Hines. I like Hines; he's a solid player. But if Taylor's hot, keep giving him. Or if you do bring Hines in, bring him in for a couple carries, not for 3 or 4 series before you ever bring Taylor back. Well, look, a couple years ago when they lost to Baltimore, they were beating Baltimore. Taylor fumbled the ball, and he never stepped foot on the field again. Remember that game?
Yep, that's right.
We was out at the casino at the sports book watching it.
Yep.
Because Colts got that lead, and Taylor was running there by the sideline, fumbled the ball, and then he never played the rest of the game. Because I had him on one of my same game parlays or whatever, and he never got back on the field. Like never put him back in after he fumbled one time. But then a couple weeks later, that's when he really kind of exploded his rookie year. Was a couple games after that, and he finished the season strong.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack go to Buffalo? Isn't that where he ended up?
I think maybe.
I think that's a good fit for him. Buffalo's going to be tough. The AFC, the AFC as a whole is going to be tough.
I'm gonna root for the Colts, of course, but and I hope they win the Super Bowl. But the team that I would go with right now, if I had to make a pick, I'd pick Buffalo to win it all.
Oh man, I can't really say you're wrong. Like I said, I'm going to say the Colts, but if I had to pick another team, I like the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, Buffalo kind of blew it. They should have been in the Super Bowl
Yeah,
last year.
they should have been last year. Yeah, their defense blew it. But if I had to pick a team besides the Colts, I would go with the Chargers. I think the Los Angeles Chargers really improved on defense, but brought in Khalil Mack, got that Jackson, real good cornerback. They got weapons. Justin Herbert just keeps looking better and better. If that coach, he's another one guy got a little too aggressive. Well, he cost his team being in the playoffs last year because he called a timeout when the Raiders was just going to end the game tied. He called a timeout, so then they kicked the field goal and put the Chargers out of the playoffs. Where all he had to do was just let the clock run out. But if he makes some smart decisions, I think the Chargers are going to be a real tough team.
You can't count Cincinnati out. I know some people may think
Yeah.
it was a fluke thing, but they've strengthened their offensive line this year, and their offensive line should be better. They've made some moves. They should be a better team.
You better look
Now,
out for Cincinnati people because think about it.
but
Joe
one thing
Burrow won a playoff game. Remember, now listen to this. Won a playoff game and got sacked 9 times in that game.
about
So
won the
what's he?
Super Bowl. About won the
Yeah,
Super Bowl, got sacked 7 times.
yeah, well, they got sacked on that game ending play by Donald.
But there is one thing different this year with Cincinnati is they've got. I just seen yesterday they've got the third toughest schedule
Yeah,
rating wise this year. They
yeah,
didn't have that last year. So, that could make a difference. You just never know because they go by the rating of the schedule, and then some teams end up not being what they
yeah,
think they're going to be. So
yeah.
that's
It's hard to go by that until you see the teams play.
yeah.
After a couple of weeks, then the ratings I think get better. But it's
then-
hard to rate them before you actually see the teams play. And
And
the
injuries
way I
happen.
look at it is, if Burrow can win a playoff game, getting sacked 9 times, and probably got sacked another 5 or 6 in that other playoff game and championship game, if you get him a better offensive line, what's he going to be able to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They got good young receivers.
If they got to protect him, keep him healthy, and the Bengals could be contenders for
A long time.
for quite a while if you keep him healthy.
Yep.
And keep putting some decent weapons around him. I wasn't sure about this coach, but this coach seems to be handling Burrow pretty good. So I mean, you got to give him credit because going in this year, I was like, man, this coach came in the flat. His first 2 years have been terrible, and so I thought he might. I thought they might get rid of him, but they stuck with him, and the team plays hard for him. Team plays hard for him. They never stop, no matter what the score is. And I think that's kind of a lot of that's the reflection of the leadership with Burrow. I don't know what it is about him. He might not be the most talented, but he makes people around him play. He makes people around him better. He has that ability. I don't know. There's just some players like that you really don't know what it is about them, but they're able to help other people be better. And I think Joe Burrow has that quality. He's not the fastest. He maybe not have the strongest arm, but he has a decent arm. And yeah, Damien, I think that might happen too. I could see maybe the Colts getting OBJ on a team friendly deal maybe as well.
Possible.
Yeah,
he worried. I know he did good with the Rams.
Well, he kind of worries me too. But if he would come into the Colts like he did with St. Louis with that attitude, where he ain't worried about if he's the number one guy just playing football like he did last year with the Rams, I'd be fine with him because he would help help our receiver depth. But if he's going to come in there and start bitching because he ain't the number one guy, we don't need that. But he accepted that role, more of that role last year with the Rams. So he got his ring. So he might be where he's cool with being the second or third option now. You know what I mean? And if he is, Oh man, that could make the Colts team dangerous if he's healthy.
I don't know. The way he was with the other places, I think he's a cancer, and I never liked him. So I'm just that's just my opinion of it.
No, I understand that, and I used to have that same feeling, but after the way I saw him handle going to the Rams last year, and Cooper Cup was the number one target, and you didn't hear him whining or crying about it, and he made some big plays in that Super Bowl.
He did.
And then in that playoff run, he done his part. He wasn't just there for the ride. And if he could have that kind of attitude and come to the Colts, I'd be fine with it. Now, if he goes back to what he was doing before went to Los Angeles, I don't want nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
But you don't know what. How do you know for sure what you're going to get? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, like I said, if you get him on a friendly deal, I'm sure under circumstances with the receiver core, I guess it's a deal you got to make, especially if it's a friendly, team friendly deal.
I think they're going to sign Julio, but I wouldn't be surprised if they could get OBJ on a team friendly deal if they wouldn't sign both of them. It gives you some depth, and if they stay healthy, you might catch lightning in a bottle out of one of them.
I think you definitely could catch maybe lightning in the bottle with Julio. I really do.
Yeah, because look who's throwing all these passes to him for years and years. Matt Ryan. Look what they did together in Atlanta. And Matt Ryan's going to have one of the best offensive lines that he's played behind.
Yep.
So I mean, I think if our receivers could get open, I think Ryan will be fine. We got a good running back. Use our run game and defense.
We got a couple good running backs. Actually, even a third one because Lindsey's not terrible.
No. Only thing that kind of worries me about our defense is we lost our defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested to see how this new coordinator does.
They got a pretty good guy though.
Yeah, they did. Well, I just kind of worry. I kind of worry when you have a coaching change. I mean, especially at like a coordinator like that. Sometimes it can hurt things. Sometimes it makes it better. But I like that Eberflus. I think the Bears got a good coach.
Yep.
I really what he did with our defense in Indy, he turned our defense from one of the worst in the league to one of the best in the league,
and pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing people don't give the Colts GM that Ballard credit for. Yeah, they haven't won a Super Bowl, but his draft picks have been pretty good.
For the most part, they have. Yeah, I agree.
His draft picks have been pretty good.
A lot better than that GM they had before.
Yeah, and that move he made to bring Buckner in, we got rid of that first round pick and got Buckner in there. That was a hell of a move. Look at the difference in our defense if Buckner's on the field or off the field.
Yep.
When he was off the field, them teams ran all over us. When he was healthy and on the field, the teams couldn't hardly run the ball against us. That was a major pickup. And people were like, "Oh, you gave up first round pick?" Yeah, because like he said, he knew what he was getting out of him. You don't know what for sure if the rookie's going to develop into what you think he's going to be.
Yep. Oh yeah, 100%.
Because I mean, yeah, because you've seen guys that are supposed to be first, second pick in the draft, and then they turn into bust. So I mean, if you've already seen a guy play and you know what he is, I was fine with it because plus we needed a defensive guy in the middle there.
Yeah.
To pair up with Darius Leonard. That's another thing that I'm kind of worried about. He had to have a little minor back surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that too.
Having back trouble, because I know what that can do to you. So that sucks because that dude, he might be the best linebacker in the league right now.
He don't get the accolades like he should, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving opted in the $36.5 million player option. That's crazy. I couldn't even imagine having $36 million.
That's nuts.
If I had $36 million, I'd be somewhere where no people was at. I'd buy me a house on a bunch of land and disappear for a while.
So the Angels come back to the lead. They're up 4-3.
Coming across the ESPN now, John Wall plans to sign with the Clippers. 5-time All-Star, averaged 20 points per game in 2021. Didn't play last season. If Clippers can stay healthy, they could be tough. Wall, Leonard, and George. They
Oh yeah,
that's three good players to build around if they can stay healthy. But Wall didn't play this season. Kawhi didn't play this season. George missed some of the season with an injury.
yeah.
But
But that's a big issue there. I mean, whether them guys can stay healthy, and that's a big thing with the Lakers. If they can fill out the roster, if Davis could stay healthy the whole year, which he hasn't yet. So
yeah. Well, one more thing I want to talk about before we get out of here for tonight. Did you see that brawl in baseball yesterday?
yes, I did.
I loved it. When they started throwing fucking sunflower seeds out the field, and uh, somebody else
Crazy.
grabbed something else and threw it. I forget what he threw. You got Rondon in there with a cast on his right hand, trying to punch with his left. Winker's
Yep.
flipping off the fans. And then Winker goes in the dugout, then tries to go back after somebody again.
Yeah, he did.
It delayed the game for 20 minutes. And 6 players got suspended, and both managers got suspended. So eight people got suspended. I'm surprised there wasn't more because they watched the video, but there might be more come out because there was all kinds of people that was involved. That was one of the crazier brawls I've seen in a while in baseball.
That
But
one
it's
in
fun.
Cincinnati.
It's fun when you go to a game and you get to see something like that. Like the last game we went.
You was at a game where they had a pretty big brawl one year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Last game I went to. We took Amanda for her birthday, and me, Austin, Eli, and Amanda went. It was Reds and Cubs, and they went to start fighting. It was man, the one pitcher that people didn't like. Can't think of his name now.
Mayor Garrett.
Yeah,
Mayor
it was
Garrett.
Garrett. Garrett came into the game and threw an inside pitch, and the batter came out there. They were going out, and here came the teams.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd ever been at a game and got to see a fight live. It was pretty cool.
Red's been in quite a few
Yeah.
fights.
Well, we were talking about earlier on the afternoon show. I think you were still on there then when we was talking about Malice at the Palace with the Pacers and the Pistons.
Yep.
I still think that might. I'll say it till I go to my grave. I think that cost the Pacers a championship. I really, man, they had a
good
chance. They were going to have a good opportunity. They had a hell of a team with Reggie Miller, Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal, Steven Jackson. They had a hell of a team.
Have you watched a documentary on that?
Yeah, it was. I liked it. I thought it was real good.
Real good.
I like that, and I like that. Then I like the 30 for 30 winning time with Reggie Miller. I bet you I've watched. I bet you I've watched that damn thing probably 500 times.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
When he starts talking shit to Spike Lee, I'll lose it every time because I remember watching. Because I do. I remember me and you watching it live.
Yep. But I remember him.
One game when they were playing the Knicks, we was at the FOP for a wrestling banquet.
Yep.
Wrestling or baseball banquet, one of the two. I think might have been baseball.
It was wrestling.
It was wrestling. Yeah, it was wrestling. And I remember us watching the rest of the game there before we went home.
Yep. Yeah, I remember Jackson and Miller giving Starks a hard time at the free throw line. Yeah, missing those 2 free throws. I remember when he gives Starks a hard time and Starks headbutted Miller and Patrick Ewing slapped old Starks. Wanted to kill Starks.
And then also you can't forget when he scored like 8 points in under 8 seconds to come back and beat the Knicks in that game. That was crazy. Hell, the Colts GM had already went to his office. He's all watches went to his office, and they were trying to get him to come back out. And he thought they were fucking. He thought they were fucking with him. He didn't want to come back out.
He went in the smoking room.
Yeah.
He smoked. He went to the smoking room, and Mel Daniels just told him to say, "Hey," and he said, "Quit fucking with me." He said, "Quit." Quit fucking lying to me. Melton
He
said,
said,
I'm not lying to you.
he said, "You're telling me that Reggie's at the free throw line. We have a chance to win this game." I
He
was
didn't believe it.
rolling. Yeah, he didn't believe him.
Well, I mean, how would you believe it? I mean, it's
Well, it's like that. It's like when Peyton Manning led that comeback against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
yeah,
Look how many Colts fans went to bed that night thinking the Colts lost,
yep,
and then you wake up and the Colts won.
yep.
I watched the whole game. I was the one that, but yeah, because I remember that next morning, people were like, "Colts got their ass kicked." Like, no, they came back and won that game. I don't know how they did.
I really,
It was crazy. What else did I have wrote on here? I think that was about or NBA free agency officially begins on Thursday. Oh, did you see where Warren Sapp said that Colin Kaepernick's workout with the Raiders was a disaster?
no, I didn't see that. Nope.
People were going after him like, and he mentioned something about you. That's why you hadn't seen no videos. But I mean, he has a history with the Raiders, so I mean, he probably has some guys inside that he could talk to. So it might be some truth to it. I'm not saying it is because
Yeah,
nobody knows. Nobody's seen the workout.
yeah,
But I could also see Sapp having some contacts that might have information too. So
yeah,
it was kind of surprising that he came out and said that. Oh,
yeah. It's bad because if he ain't, unless he's seen some video himself, I don't know if he should say that.
yeah,
He's seen it, but I mean, I don't know.
yeah. I don't know.
But
Shit,
then again,
I hope hey, if Cap look good, I hope he gets at least if they don't want to sign him, he gets a chance to work out for another team. But if he's good enough to play, he should be in the league.
I think
I
if he
just
wanted to,
question. I just question if he still can play at that level
yeah,
after not playing for so many years. That's my only thing. But if you see him work out and you think he can, give him a chance. But
yeah,
I in my opinion, he wasn't playing great before this stuff happened,
yeah,
and he's been out for what 4 or 5 years now.
yeah,
It how what level is he going to come back at? That's the only thing that worries me about it.
yeah.
Like
I
I said,
agree.
I'd like to see him get a chance if he can play at that level. I think if he wants to have a chance to start in the NFL again, I think he needs to
Yeah,
go to when the the Rock starts this XFL this February. Go play for them, ball out,
yeah,
and then he would have a chance to maybe get a starting job instead of just a backup role.
yeah.
I think if he
But
wants to be a starter again, that would be his best route.
the only
Because you go
downside
to a
to that is
backup role, you might not ever get on the field.
that's true. But the only downside to that is, Chris, say because I don't know how good the XFL team is going to be. Good. Hopefully they'll be pretty good. I mean, with the people they got doing the stuff and some of the coaches,
They had pretty good talent last time.
I think it's going to be pretty good, pretty decent. But if you get on a real bad team and they just suck,
Yeah.
and it can make you look bad too. So that could be a downside to it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, he's got to play somewhere. I mean, he's got to get on the field and show something, or nobody's going to give him a chance.
That's my thing. I'd love for him to get opportunity, but if he's a backup and he's just standing on the sideline, we're not going to get to see him play
Yep.
unless somebody gets hurt, or you might get to see him in the preseason a little bit. Maybe if he looks good in the preseason, the next year, maybe a team
Is
might take a chance on. But
is the
I think
only
if he
tryout
wants to be starter, that would be a great way.
is the only tryout he's had with the Raiders?
Yeah, so far, yes.
Well, see, because I heard somebody say,
And it
I
hurt.
read something. I had heard that somebody said that he looked really good.
Okay, Damien said that Sap's just saying that about Cap because he hates him for taking the settlement.
And see, I was
And
wondering if
that could be true too. So I mean,
yeah, I had heard a rumor they looked real good. So I mean, and it's all to me, it's all rumors because it's not somebody that that,
yeah,
that has probably seen it.
that's why I said we'll never know for sure because unless the video comes out, and it's not going to. I don't see it coming out. But one thing I think that has helped Cap is that with the Raiders not signing him yet, is that the media hasn't turned it into a big deal. So then I think now other teams might take that chance and bring him in to work out because they don't think they're going to get buried by the media if they don't sign him.
Yeah,
So,
I'm surprised
yeah,
Seattle.
so,
I'm
yeah,
surprised Seattle didn't bring him in for a tryout.
yeah. It's not according to from Dustin Reese. I'm taking his word on it from what whoever his source was, but he's saying by Friday it might be a done deal that Baker's in Seattle,
That's possible.
and that means if Watson gets suspended for a year, Jacoby Brissett's probably going to be Cleveland's quarterback. Hell, if Watson gets suspended for a year, would Cleveland bring Kaepernick in for a workout?
I don't know why you wouldn't.
You have
I know some,
Brissett. If you're going to start Brissett, why not bring Kaepernick in and see what he can do?
Yep.
And if he looks better than Brissett, give him a chance.
Yep, I agree.
Hell, you never know. I just thought about that with that scenario. You never know. He might end up getting a workout with Cleveland because
Yep.
if Watson's out a year and Baker's gone, you're starting Brissett. You're going to need a backup. I don't know if they have any other young guy on there or not, but you know what I mean. You'd like to have a quality backup behind Brissett if that's who you're really going to start. I
Yeah.
bring Kaepernick in, let him see what he has, and if you think he's better than Brissett, start him. If not, you got you a solid backup in case Brissett gets hurt. So I mean that you never know that could be an option because you would think they could get Kaepernick on a decent team friendly deal, and he's not going. You know what I mean, especially if you're signing him as a backup, he's not going. It's not going to be a real big contract. They'll probably put some incentives in there and stuff too, but you know what I mean. It ain't like he's going to come in and move the market or anything. He's going to come in at more of a lower level contract for especially at first. Now, if he starts
Yeah.
balling, he might get a big contract again. But to me, it's just hard to play at that level. To me, it's hard. It's hard to be off for 5 or 6 years and come back and play at a high level
Well, I would think so.
because you can train, but it's not the same as being out there on that field. Just like in wrestling, you can run, try to get in shape.
Yeah.
So it's a different shape when you get out there on that wrestling mat and have to wrestle for 6 minutes. Okay, Cam is still there. I forgot about that. Thanks, Damien. So Cam Newton's in Cleveland too.
Okay. Okay.
But from what I'd heard, the reports also they were planning on starting Brissett if Jackson gets suspended.
Hmm.
That Baker wasn't their backup option, and like I said, now I'm hearing that Baker's on his way to Seattle because I guess Geno Smith has been getting getting some first team reps over Drew Lock. So I don't
No,
think Seattle's happy with their quarterback situation. So now,
I hope Baker gets a shot because I mean I know he's had some time, but last year he was pretty hurt.
well, here's the thing: a lot of people bury Baker. How many games did the Cleveland Browns win before Baker Mayfield got there?
Not a lot.
What, 1 or 2 games a season?
Yeah.
He took them to the playoffs.
Yep.
Got him at a winning record. He hasn't got you a Super Bowl or took you deep in the playoffs yet, but you've won games with them. You went from a team that was winning 1 or 0 games a year, and you were actually competing. He, I don't. Yes, he hasn't turned into the player I thought he was going to yet, but it ain't like he's been flat terrible either. I mean, he's was on a terrible franchise, and they're trying to build up. And I thought they kind of done him wrong.
He had a lot of changes.
I thought for sure he would get an extension with them. It really surprised me that they went after Watson like they did.
You've had changes in coaches. You've had changes in philosophy. I mean, there's a lot of shit that he's had to deal with. So I think he
Yeah.
may be better than what people think he is. Now, whether he's a superstar or not, I'm not saying that.
I hope he plays well because, well, I've been a Baker Mayfield fan since he was in college, but because I like underdogs, and he was a walk on, then walked on at Oklahoma, turned himself into the Heisman winner. It was just I like them underdog stories like that, and so I was a big Baker Mayfield fan. like I said, he hasn't developed into the player I thought he was going to yet. But I think he can still get to that level, and I think
Yeah.
hopefully Seattle's a good fit for him. But all right, you got anything else before we get out of here tonight?
No, don't think so.
If you're a pro wrestling fan, join us tomorrow evening. Forget what time I put.
I
I
thought
put 6, wasn't it?
I thought you said something about 6. I think.
Yeah, 6.
Was it?
I don't forgot. But
What was it? 6? Was it 6 or 5?
let me look real quick. I got it
Was
right
it
here
5 or
because
6? Now I'm thinking it was 5.
it might have been 5.
I think it
I
was
think
5.
I think you're right. But I'll look real quick because I know I have it right here. Any other time it'd be right in my head. Yes, 5. 5. You're right. 5 p.m. Join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. We're going to be doing a live recap show for Warrior Pro Wrestling 10, which was a show that we live streamed yesterday from Danville, Indiana at Warrior Pro Wrestling. They put on a great show. I highly recommend you go to our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room and check it out. Also, while you're over here, please hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Then also, we're going to recap the AEW New Japan pay per view last night, Forbidden Door.
Yep.
I won't get too deep into it because we're going to be talking about it tomorrow. But I thought AEW put on a great show last night, and I really enjoyed watching it. So I'm looking forward to talking about it tomorrow.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, we had a great weekend of wrestling because we went to a show Sunday afternoon, independent show, and they put on. It was very entertaining. They put on a great show, and then we come home and do that watch along for AEW, and it was a great show. So we got to watch a lot of good wrestling yesterday.
Yeah, to me, it was the best AEW show I had seen. So I mean, that they've done that I had seen
Oh,
personally.
okay. Thanks, Damien. He meant Cam Newton's still a free agent,
Oh,
so
okay, all right.
yeah, they could go after Cam.
One thing, real quick, Chris. Not 100% sports related, but wrestling related. I don't know if you watched. I know you watched some of Raw. I don't know if you watched it all and got to see Cena and stuff.
Oh,
But one
I thought that Cena promo was awesome.
Yeah, but I just want to give Cena a shout out because the dude has did 569 wishes. The next one closest to him is like 200 wishes. This is what this dude does, and his extra time, which you probably don't have a lot of, and does it for all these kids and for people. The dude's a stand-up guy and a great WWE superstar. I know a lot of people he's only 5 moves or 3 moves and he sucks and all this stuff. The dude's been good for wrestling and he's been good for a lot of kids and a lot of people. So I just wanted to give him some high praise. I think he deserves it.
Oh yeah, I do too. And not only does he do all them make a wishes, look how much merch he has sold. I think if I'm right, I think he sold more merch than anybody.
Yeah, did you see the crowd denying all that merch?
Yeah, all that
Brand
new
new
merch. I'll
shirts.
tell you what, I like that hat he had on though. That said the hustle, loyalty, and respect. It was black and just had the white letters. I like that
Yeah.
hat. Hell, I might mess around and order me a John Cena hat.
When it came out, did you see who was wearing one of those? One of the superstars. Dolph Ziggler had one of them hats on,
Oh,
and
did
John Cena said, "I like your hat."
he?
He and
I missed that. I
yeah,
saw
when
him
he was
coming
coming
out, but
down,
I didn't notice
yeah.
that.
And of course Vince showed up and introduced him.
Yeah,
Uh,
Vince gives zero. He don't care at all.
they tell him that he's off the board. It's fine, but I'm still going to run my program, and I'm going to show you I'm going to run my program.
What's your thoughts on Adam Cole and Moxley having a concussion after last night?
I heard that
Well, man,
Moxley had
if they had concussions, it sucks because there's already been so many injuries right now in professional wrestling, and I mean, if they're getting concussions, they're going to have to start thinking about some of the bumps that they're taking.
yeah.
Because
Well,
once you have a concussion, it's easier to get concussed again.
well,
You
personally,
know
and
what I'm saying?
personally, I ain't heard, but for sure. But I think the reason Brian Danielson is out right now is because of concussion.
See, that's what
I
I
think
think as well.
I really think he's out too for that, and they're being careful with him. And I heard that in the scrum, the stuff they had after the show, that Moxley mentioned that he might have been concussed, but I heard since then he's been checked out and he did not have a concussion. Been reported. I hadn't really seen anything reported on
Cole.
the other Cole, but I believe from what I hear, I believe he did get concussed.
So something happened because that wasn't how they planned for that to end.
No, no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
No, I mean, you could tell something happened because it was weird how it happened.
Yeah.
Because me and you were both were like, because I said he got the 3, and you were like, you said no, he didn't, and the ref, it was weird the way it happened.
Yeah, yeah, it was weird.
But no, like I said, we'll really talk about that pay-per-view a lot tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. Please
And
like
then also,
oh, go ahead,
also
Dad.
Thursday night, we're going to do a special watch along with Game Changer Wrestling, and it's going to be at, if I remember correctly, 7:30 Thursday night. It's called Dead on Arrivals from live from Detroit.
We're gonna have quite a
And
few Indiana natives on that card.
yeah,
And
it's going to be
quite a few wrestlers that have been on shows that we have live streamed. So
yep.
so they're on shows that you can find on our YouTube and Facebook page.
And there's going to be some good wrestling matches on the show, and there's going to be some death matches on the show. So if you like death matches,
I'm looking forward to watching it.
you might get Fight TV and check it out and watch along with us. But I think I'm definitely interested in the show.
And another thing I'm excited about, got a special guest Thursday evening as well, at 6:00 p.m. Guy that runs Thunder or Blunder gonna come on. Walter Buckley gonna come on Thursday. Talk about Thunder Blunder 3 coming up this Saturday. I believe it starts at 3 in the afternoon. They're 1151 Kentucky Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana. They're at the Dub. Should be a great show. Walter always puts together a good card.
It'll be a great.
He always puts together a good card, and from what I hear, he's a good guy to work for as well. I heard he takes care of his talent. I know he puts on a great show. He's been nothing but nice to us. We went there and live streamed the Thunder Blunder 2 there at the Dub back in February. It was an awesome show.
We would have loved to do this one, but we had prior commitments.
Oh yeah, I would love to go Saturday, but we already had other obligations before we found out about it. Definitely hoping to get back for Thunder Blunder 4. I think from what I hear, I think it's going to be in October. So waiting on the exact date, hoping that we can work that out where we can go there, because like I said, Thunder Blunder 2 was an awesome event. So I highly recommend, if you can go to Indianapolis, Indiana on Saturday, go check out the show. You won't be disappointed, because you can find the flyer on our page. I actually made the flyer for him. You can find it on our page. He has some good matches. Shane Mercer is on the card. One of the best talents that we've seen. Hey people, dude does a moonsault off the ropes, holding another human being.
Yep.
Calls it moonsault battery.
Yeah, and
first time I saw it, I was about shit. I was like, "What the hell just happened?"
And he's going to be on Game Changer.
Yeah,
right, that show. He's going to be on that, and I think he's going to be in a death match. So.
And then at Thunder Blunder 2, we saw what might be the match of the year between Blake Money Wright and Jake Oman. If you're a strong style wrestling fan, like what you see in Japan, go watch that match, because there was probably 50 or 60 kickstone in that match.
Yeah, I mean, they beat the hell out of each other. It was a hell of a match. It was about,
if you like that strong style wrestling, that's a perfect match to go watch, because it was awesome. Them dudes went at it.
Yeah.
But all right, we got one more comment before we get out of here. Adam Cole was injured weeks before the pay-per-view. He has a torn shoulder. So maybe that's why he didn't look good after the match, because he probably got more injured. That could be something to do with the shoulder, but I know something happened, because they stopped that match, and that wasn't the plan for the match to end like that.
No.
And I hope he's healthy, because I like watching Adam Cole. And like I said, I really enjoyed that pay-per-view last night. And you know me, I got that. I went live about a year ago. I forget which pay per view it was, and it was a terrible one. And I went live for it on the channel. I don't know, it was a few months after we actually started the podcast. And remember, it was a terrible. I forget. Oh, it was when they done that. Was going to do that barbed wire. What was it? The exploding.
Did you go live for that one? I didn't think we went live for that one. I thought we just watched it.
Oh, maybe we did. I thought I went live for it.
I don't think so.
You know what match I'm talking about, all right?
Yeah,
Where it looked like, yeah, I'm about positive it was live for it. They looked like fucking sparklers.
Yeah, death match. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, but then like the last pay per view, that Double or Nothing or whatever.
Yeah.
The first half of it, I mean, like we were talking earlier, it didn't keep my interest. But last night's pay per view, I was focused on it from beginning to end.
Yeah, it was really good.
I thought it ran smooth. They kept it flowing. We'll talk about more tomorrow because I'll get into it. Then we'll just be repeating ourselves tomorrow. But join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo'S Sports Room for that. I'll also be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. You can also find me at 1 p.m. Eastern on the ASAP Sports Network for the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. I host the show. Usually there's 2 or 3, sometimes 4 other guys come on, and we talk different topics. Usually a pretty interesting show. Come check us out. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Roku TV. I think Tiki TV. I think you can also get it on Amazon TV as well. So I mean, it's out there quite a few places. So make sure you check it out. And ASAP also has a good morning show, hosted by Pride. He's a good guy and he's a good host as well. So go check it out. It's the ASAP in the morning. There's a lot of different things over there. Check them out. Be on the lookout. We have some big things coming up for the G.S.R. Gonzo'S Sports Room. We'll have some big announcements coming here real soon. But like I said, we have interview Thursday, the wrestling on Thursday. Then we'll kind of be off for the weekend. Enjoy the 4th of July weekend with family. And then July 10th, we have a big show there in Greenfield, Indiana for Summit Pro. And then for that show, we're going to have a special guest as Sam Mitchell, who we interviewed a few weeks ago, is going to come join us and do commentary with us. So that's going to be fun. So we got quite a few things coming up here real soon. But I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and we will see you guys next time on GSR. Be safe and have a good night.